My name is Scott Elsbree, and I am a 61-year-old practicing board-certified internist in Sarasota, Florida. And I love what I do. I love being a doctor, and I love helping people. And after practicing traditional medicine and traditional practice for almost 30 years, I just felt that the increasing demands, the diminishing reimbursement by the insurance companies and Medicare, requiring physicians to see increased numbers of patients, was just placing ridiculous demands on my practice and myself, both professionally and personally. And I was having to whisk too many patients through my office. It just the quality of the experience that I always valued with my patients, I felt was being compromised. So I decided to seek a different model. So then a couple years later, I started seeing a model coming out of California and Oregon called the hybrid concierge model. It sort of combined the traditional medical office model with the concierge model. So in the hybrid concierge model, you have a small enough number of patients that you're able to work patients in on the same day if the situation requires a same-day visit or the following day. They also get more of a personal attention by me as a physician. Instead of a 10 or 15-minute visit, which is the norm in primary care in this country, it's a 30 to 45-minute visit. More attentive, personal, in-depth, involved, and detailed, a much more personal approach. I've always told my patients that when I'm in the exam room with my patient, or in the hospital room with my patient, or in the emergency room with my patient, the only thing that matters is the care of that patient. Nothing else matters. The finances, Medicare, insurance companies, none of that matters. It's making sure that your patient gets the care that they need and that they deserve. Prior to the transition to the hybrid concierge model, usually in the hospital by 7, then I see my full day of office practice, and then at the end of that office day, make my return phone calls. I was getting home between 9:30 and 10:30 most of the time. So I rarely had dinner with my wife. Since I switched to the hybrid concierge model, and I'm seeing less than half the number of patients a day that I was seeing prior, I'm able to do it at a much more reasonable pace. So the quality of my professional experience is greatly enhanced. I don't feel the time and pressure demand that I did previously. I'm able to look over, review lab results during the day instead of at the end of the day. And if I do need to go see patients at the end of the day, I'm able to do so I can get home at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock instead of 9 or 10 o'clock. I think the biggest change is the quality of the experience that I have with my patients during the day. I mean, it was always good, I felt, but I think it's even better now. I'm able just to spend more time and explain more things. If you're thinking about transitioning your practice from a traditional medical model to more of a hybrid concierge or concierge model, there's a couple things that I would do. I would for sure speak to physicians that you respect and know, possibly in your community, that have made the transition. Ask them what they think of their transition. I did that. The second thing I would do is get on the internet, and I would look up, I would just Google hybrid concierge medical practice, and start looking at the doctors across the country who have adopted this model. Call them and ask them how they like their new model. Just tell them you're a physician who's thinking about doing it. Do they mind taking 5 minutes to share their experience with you? And I did that. I did that with several physicians, and I found them to be very open and very helpful and excited to share the transition with me. The third thing that I would do is I would definitely attend Dana's conference that's coming up. I'm going to attend as well, even though I've made the transition. Hear from people, successful people that have made this transition, and glean information from them on how best they could do it as well.